Hey guys, welcome back to the Monday Morning Commute. I am in North Carolina, and sometimes the material just presents itself. This is a rental, it's an EV6, and I discovered something while in possession of this car that I think you're really going to want to know, especially if you're in the market, maybe for a used EV. Let's go check it out. Okay, so I'm going to take you on a quick tour, and then we're going to talk about what I found out. All right, guys, I'm going to interrupt this video real quick, and I'm going to ask you to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If I don't do it, Casey's going to kill me. I'll probably repeat myself at the end of the video, but I'm going to drop this in just to make sure that you guys know how much we appreciate your support. Now, back to the EV6. This is a rear-wheel drive sport hatch EV, almost wagon, but it's a little bit smaller than the traditional American wagons that we're familiar with. And this one has about 300 miles of range. When I got into it, it actually showed 311 miles of range at 100%. And again, that's in the rear wheel drive version. You can get all wheel drive, which is going to bring that range down slightly. Now, Kias are known for incredibly fast charging. Probably the best on the market, maybe besides Porsche right now. And definitely saw that as we did some charging on this road trip. Was able to, even when the battery was still pretty full, we were able to jump 5, 6, 7% in just a couple of minutes, which is really cool. So one little update, I did stop at the Electrify America high-speed chargers and ran into all kinds of problems. I wanted to try multiple ways of getting to this. The car is charging, okay, but let me tell you how we had to do it. Because first when we walked up, it tells you to plug in. It wouldn't take tap to pay from the credit card. It would not take the NFC reader from the phone, which is connected to the EA app. It declined everything. Wouldn't do it, okay? Until I went into the app itself, searched for the charger, found the specific one that I was plugged into, and then started the charging session from the app itself. Then it worked. So just keep that in mind if you're using Electrify America chargers. But some of the features that I really like on this car as we walk around to the back, if you open up the hatchback, it's got a nice little flip up compartment in the back, and that comes in really handy if you're going to the grocery store and you're grabbing a 12-pack of drinks or some milk and a couple of other bags, because they can sit down in that compartment and they don't flip around or move around a whole lot. And then you've got easy manual levers to drop down the second row of seats, which is really cool. It's just a really nice setup for a car this size. And then moving around back inside, I love the center stack. It's really simple. There's not a whole lot of things that you can configure. You're just running through trip computers and different ways of looking at your speedometer and some of like your sport, your drive mode functions, flipping through those. It's not overly complicated. Got a really nice infotainment screen. The built-in nav, it's okay. Not the best out there. Luckily, you do have Android Auto and CarPlay. Although Kia has been a little bit slow to bring the wireless versions of those platforms to the car. And so you do have to have a USB-A cord in order to use Android Auto or CarPlay. It does have C ports for charging down here. It's actually got quite a few, but again, those are just for charging. So as you move into the newer versions of this car, I think you get the wireless Android Auto and CarPlay, which is really nice. But that's just something you're going to have to keep in mind if you're trying to shop used. I love the multi-function climate and audio controls on the car. So you've got this little display down here, and depending on which option you select, either climate control or your navigation and infotainment, the buttons actually change. So their function changes, the touch buttons as well as the dials, and that's really cool. I like this center console area. So I've got my wireless charging here, and I've got a decent couple of cup holders in this little slot as well. I've got some glasses stored in here, but it extends outward, and so you've got your drive controller, and then you've got your on-off button for the car. And then actually, these seat controls for heated and air-conditioned seats, depending on the trim you get, are right here at the end. And this works really well. I mean, it's just a really nice, comfortable place to put your arm, but also have some storage for all the things that you use on a road trip. And of course, you've got a whole bunch of storage down below where some of your charging ports are, too. Last thing for the passenger, you know, passengers don't have access to all the screens, or that's not what they're staring at all the time. And so they may notice the actual materials in the car more than the driver does. And I love what they've done in the dash. You've got this woven material that looks really good. You've got AC vents that you can actually control with your hand. And so quick slide to the right, they're off, quick slide to the left, they're back on, and you can control the direction. And there's plenty of them across the front here. The door cards look great, you know, a really nice clean design. You know, there's a little bit of hard plastic over there, but you know, you also have some soft touch materials where you're actually going to put your elbow. Okay, let's talk about what we found on this road trip. And if you'll take a look right here, hit the dash, this car has almost 28,000 miles on it. It is a 2023 and it's a rental, okay? So those are some tough miles, almost 30, you know, closing in on 30,000. And what's so surprising to me, when I got in this car, I thought it was a new car. It felt like a new car. There's not a single squeak or rattle in this car anywhere. The only sound I've heard on the interior of this car this entire time was actually from my Starbucks cup sitting in the cup holder, squeaking around. I didn't hear a squeak, rattle, vibration anywhere in this EV6. And that's kind of mind-blowing with this sort of miles in a rental car, especially a car that weighs 5,400 pounds. All right, it's heavy. I didn't hear anything in the suspension. Okay, so we've hit rough roads, we've been on highways, we've been on some dirt roads this morning. So, you know, you would expect a suspension to start to show its age, especially with a car this heavy. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing out of sorts. It's handled incredibly well. This is a great driving car. We did a full review. We had one of these for a week and we loved the way it drove. No complaints there. But this is shocking to me, to be honest. Anytime I get in a rental car from any manufacturer that's got this kind of miles on it, it is already starting to show its age. It, you know, not just in the, you know, the noise vibration area and the rattles and the squeaks that you get, but you start to see it in the materials. People have just abused the heck out of the car and things start to show wear. And man, I look around in this one and I just don't see any of that. And so if you're shopping or you're in the used market in particular, and you see these out there, just keep that in mind. And, you know, I'd love to hear from you guys that do own one. Are you having a similar experience? Are you seeing this EV6 hold up over the long haul like I'm seeing with this one? So that was just a very quick observation, but one, again, I'm just really surprised at. And I think I'm going to go do some more driving and just enjoy having this car. All right, that's the Monday Morning Commute. This is the Roamer Adventure Network. Thanks for watching. Guys, I always fail to do this up front, but please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's been growing like crazy, and we appreciate you guys. All right, see you next week.